I'd like now to introduce your speaker for today, Chrys Lemon. Chrys is a partner in McIntyre Lemon PLC in Washington, D.C. He specializes in financial services law, particularly related to marketing of consumer financial products and services, privacy law, insurance law, and regulation of financial institutions by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. From 1980 to 1986, Mr. Lemon was an instructor pilot in the United States Air Force. And from 1986 to 1988, he worked as an analyst in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. Chrys, welcome to the program. We are now ready to begin.
Good day, everyone. For the agenda, we will spend most of the time, of course, on these the 2016 mortgage servicing rules that came out that amended the mortgaging servicing rules of Regulation X and Regulation Z. We'll talk about the fact that the rules are inapplicable to small servicers and reverse mortgages. We'll look at effective dates. There's a safe harbor from the Federal Debt Collection Practices Act. And then I want to spend a little time on some supervisory highlights on mortgage servicing that the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, came out with. Here's the issues we will talk about. First of all, just some definitions of successor and interest, which now, effective on October 19th coming up, you would have to apply the rules to successors and interest. Also, a delinquency is defined, and there's some additional information that I'll lead you to as far as how you apply delinquency, the term delinquency. A few things on servicer responses to requests for information. Lender-placed insurance, there's a little bit on that, mainly some new disclosures. Early intervention, live contact, and written notice obligations. The changes are pretty complicated. I've included everything in the slides, but we'll spend a little bit of time on that. We'll also spend quite a bit of time on the changes to the loss mitigation requirements in Section 1024.41. A few other issues, how you deal with prompt payment crediting with respect to these temporary loss mitigation programs and the permanent loan modifications. Talk a little bit about periodic statement disclosures, and that really has to do with Regulation Z. And then talk about the revised definition of small servicer and what that means. As I go through here, I'll be highlighting in blue the topic that we're on. We'll start with the definition of successor and interest. Before I do, you should also have been able to access on the website a handout I prepared called 2016 Mortgage Servicing Rule Overview. That's just some information that I think is helpful to give you some big picture on all of these. I know that people have been operating under the mortgage servicing rules of Regulation X and Regulation Z for quite a while. But I think it's useful because of the complexity here to have some information in hand. So you might want to look through there. On the last page, you'll see that there's the sources for all of the information that I have. With respect to the definition of a successor in interest, they've broadened it so that it includes certain transfers both when a borrower is alive and upon the death of a borrower. Those are listed there.